Good morning, everyone. This is ABHISHEK Pandey, research scholar at CIES-2020 University, Kanchipuram. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this conference for giving me this opportunity to present my insight on a topic, a survey on deep learning architectures and its applications. Abstract. Deep learning is a set of algorithms in machine learning that attempts to learn in multiple levels corresponding to different level of abstraction. Unlike conventional machine learning and data mining techniques, deep learning is able to generate very high level of data representation from massive volume of data. Why it is called deep learning? Because in deep learning we have one input layer and one output layer, and in between input and output layer we have multiple hidden deep layers to give output results. We have different deep learning architectures like CNN, convolutional neural network, deep neural network, deep belief network, and recurrent neural network that has been applied in various problem of computer vision and predictive analytics. This study begins with a research question: what are various architectures of deep learning? What are application of these architectures? And what are the major differences between these deep learning architectures? Methodology: in this study we did a survey on various architectures of deep learning and their applications. The research paper from 2012 to 2020 has been taken for a study. In this study we did a survey on the advances that have occurred in the area of deep learning, starting from DNN, goes on CNN, RNN, GRU, LSTM, and so on. This paper also explained the major differences between deep learning and classical machine learning algorithms. Now, literature review: various researchers have performed study on deep learning and its application. Then Lee did a survey on classes of deep learning architectures. According to them, deep learning model require a large number of hidden layer and huge amount of labeled training data. Sustainable computer power also required. And another researchers like Liu, in his study, he found that convolutional neural network are one of the best learning algorithm for understanding image content and have shown exemplary performance in image segmentation, classification, detection, and retrieval related tasks. Tushar in his study presented a deep learning for identifying numeral in handwriting in Arabic. They use multi-layer perceptron method for rectified linear unit ReLU for the simulation of neurons in input and hidden layers, and the softmax function was used for the classification in the outer layer. We have various deep learning architectures. The basic 6 architectures has been given, starting from Auto-Encoder, convolutional neural network, restricted Boltzmann machine, deep stacking network, LSTM, GRU, and recurrent neural network. Let us discuss each of them one by one. Auto-Encoder. An autoencoder is a type of neural network which is based on unsupervised technique and uses back propagation algorithm. The aim of autoencoder is to learn representation encoding for the set of data, typically for dimensionality reduction, by training the network to ignore the signals of noise. In this architecture, in autoencoder architecture, we have in 3 layers: visible input node, hidden node, and visible output node. Visible node have those input we want to train through the autoencoder. Training data that is available on visible node will go to different hidden nodes. Hidden node will encode the data representation of visible input, and then it decode the important features of the hidden node. This is the structure of autoencoder. Then we have convolutional neural network. The first convolutional neural network was developed by Lucian. Application areas of CNN include mainly image processing and handwritten character recognition, postal code interpretation, classification, and clustering. And typical CNN consists of 4 layers. A typical CNN model consists of 4 layers. First one is application of convolution layer, max pooling layer, flattering layer, and fully connected layer. A convolutional layer, we can see in this image, a convolutional layer is a set of filters applied to a given image. Okay, a set of filters applied to a given image to extract certain features, and then it applied to a pooling layer for downsampling those features, and again it will apply to a convolutional layer, and then again pooling layer for downsampling, and finally it is applied to fully connected layer to see the output, and that is called output layer. And output layer, just like we have an image, and in this image, as a human being, we can recognize that this image may be a cat, but with the help of CNN, our machine algorithm will able to say whether it is a cat or not. Through these many layers, it is able to say it is a cat or it is not a cat. Okay, and the step already we discussed. It convolute the given image by certain filters, pass through a pooling layer, then through for downsampling, and at last it will be connected with a fully connected layer for generating the output. Then restricted Boltzmann machine. Restricted Boltzmann machine is such a undirected graph and modeled representation of hidden layers, a visible layer and systematic connection between these layers. In RBM, there is no connection in between an input and the hidden layer. The deep belief network represents multi-layer network architecture. Now, deep stacking network is also acknowledged as deep convex network. DSN is different from other traditional deep learning structures. It is called deep because of the fact that it contains large number of deep individual networks, where each network has its own hidden layers. We have another architecture called LSTM. The long short-term memory is used for many applications. IBM select LSTM mainly for speech recognition. It uses a memory component unit or cell is made up of 3 ports called gates, which are controlled by the movement of information in the unit, that is into the cell, out of the cell. LSTM have a memory element that not just remember the current input, but also it remembers the earlier inputs also. Recurrent neural network. Recurrent neural network consists of rich set of architecture, and it is basic network architecture. The important characteristic of RNN is that recurrent network has a connection that can be given as a feedback into the prior layers, as compared to the complete feed-forward connection. It takes the previous memory of the input and model the problem within the time. Advanced architecture of deep neural network. Some advanced architectures available, like popular architecture is LXNet. LXNet is named after the researcher. It was earliest deep learning architecture. The architecture consists of convolutional layer and the pooling layer, which are stacked on the another and then followed by completely interlinked layer on the top. Another architecture is visual graphic group net or VIII. This model consists of a bottom layer which are wide and top layer are deep. VGG accommodates successive convolutional layers, and then pooling layer is made the layer narrow. Another architecture, GoogleNet. The architecture was introduced by researcher at Google, and hence the name is GoogleNet. It involves 22 layers, where VGG visual graphic net having 19 layers, hidden layers. ResNet, residual network, incorporate the numerous successive residual modulus, also called the basic building block of ResNet. The residual modulus and are placed on one over other and form successful and complete node of the node network. The main benefit of ResNet is that mainly residual layer are capable of forming train network. Generative Adversarial Network (GAN) is a unique network architecture which creates an entirely novel and different images which are not already present in the available training dataset. Now we have various architectures under study, and these architectures can be applied into various application areas. Now, in this table depicts the application areas of these architectures. Now, autoencoder, widely used in machine language processing, understanding compact representation of data. Convolutional neural network, it is used in document analysis, face recognition, image recognition, neural language processing, and video analysis. Deep belief network (DBN) is used for failure prediction, information retrieval, image recognition, natural language understanding. Deep stack network is used for continuous speech recognition, information retrieval. So LSTM is used for gesture recognition, handwriting recognition, image recognition, natural language text compression, speech recognition. Similarly, a recurrent neural network is used for handwriting and speech recognition. Boltzmann machine algorithms are used for collaborative filtering, classification, dimensionality reduction, feature learning, regression, and topic modeling. Now, finally, conclusion. This study surveys the state-of-art techniques and architecture of deep learning. In this paper, we have provided an in-depth review of deep learning in its application over past few years. Also, this paper surveyed the work of several researchers with their domain and research area in the field of deep learning. It helps the researcher to explore and understand architectures and application of deep learning. Thank you so much.